When drawing lips from the side, the first thing you want to do is to capture the angle of the front of the lips. So I'm just lining my pencil up so it barely touches the top and the bottom lip, and I'm trying to capture that angle. I'm going to keep my pencil steady, move it over to my paper, and just look at my paper, look at that angle, and then quickly move my pencil and try to draw it in. Now I might have it incorrect, so I'm going to double check it. Looks like it's pretty close. I think I can go with that. Okay, so once you have that line, that angle drawn in, the next thing you can do is to draw the shape of the lips. So I can see that the upper lip is touching about right here. So I'll just draw that front part. I really want to look at this angle here. I can line my pencil up with that so it can help me visualize it coming back this way. The lower lip is coming out to meet that line. And then back in a bit. I can also look at the angle of the chin from underneath, kind of coming like that. Okay, next up I want to figure out how far back this goes. So one thing I could do is to measure from the back edge to the front of the lip with my pencil. I can use my tip of the pencil to mark one side, and I can use my finger to mark the back of the lips. And then if I bring that measurement over here, this is called direct measuring, and then I can look at how far back it should go, about right to there. And that can kind of help me, figure out how far back to go with that line. Okay, I don't want to draw a line here. That's better done with shading. And the same thing up here. I might be tempted to draw this in, but I think it's better if I just kind of let my shading end and show that light and the dark, just with the shading, not with a contour line. So I'm just going to come back in and finish up the top, and then I'm about ready to go with my shading. Okay, one thing that you'll notice if you're in really natural light is that the light coming from above is making it light on the top, but as it goes in towards the middle of the lip, this is going to be a little bit darker. So I'm just going to shade this part of the lip first, towards that center, kind of like that. Next up, I'm going to leave this white highlight, and then right above it, I'm going to shade it just a bit darker. And I'm also changing the angle of my pencil marks to show the form more. Okay. This gets a bit darker, but I didn't want to go too dark all at once. So I'm just going to come back in and push it just a bit darker on top of that. Okay, going into the lips, or into the center crease, it gets quite a bit darker. So I'm going to place my pencil right at that center line and pull up. Clean that up a bit. Now I'm ready to work on the lower lip. We have some really strong highlights here. In fact, I probably want to just kind of like box it out so I don't forget and draw over it. I'm just going to put in a couple of those highlights. You can put in more if you'd like. Okay, lower lip, fairly light along the top. I'm just going to do sort of just a light base value for the whole lower lip, and then I'll push in my dark values on top, carefully shading around those highlights. Next up, I'm going to notice how it gets quite a bit darker right around that highlight. We've got some really sort of dark creases happening on that lower lip. I'm just going to put those in. And then it's getting a bit darker right through here underneath this highlight. I think I put the highlight too low. Yeah, I did. Let me fix that. Move the highlight up. There. Okay, so underneath the highlight, a bit darker. And then also some darkness just below the lip. So just pushing that area just a bit darker. Okay, when you get this far along, I'd like you to continue with your shading because it'll look weird just having just the lip shaded. So look at the areas around the mouth. Notice what's happening there. quite a bit of light here, but then getting darker towards the side, so I might have a little bit more shading in there. Some darkness below. A little bit lighter on the chin. And darker along this edge over here. So I'm going to go really fast. Just block that all in. And I notice that I need to push this area in quite a bit darker, so I'll change angles a bit and do a second layer. Of course, you'll have a bit more time, so you can spend a little bit more time kind of smoothing that out and getting exactly what you want. And then lighter through here, so I'll just leave all of that just a little bit lighter. And there you have lips from the side.